It's Everything Now, an interactive comedy show on Twitch where you, the viewers, are in control, featuring special guests from all over the Twitch community and the Los Angeles comedy scene. Enter a variety of wild scenarios with colorful characters and help steer the story in whatever direction you want. You can vote in polls to pick dialogue or make choices. You can pay to play sound effects that have in-show ramifications.
Road ends in 100 feet.
What the fuck?
Submit images over Twitter and Discord for us to use. Or just hop in the chat and suggest what you think we should do. It's your show too, friend. Every episode is its own sandbox to play in. There's never a dull moment. Hop on in and experience everything now.
All rise! Court is now in session. Welcome. Thank you. Order. Yes, clap for the judge, the honorable judge. I am the honorable learned hand, Judge Hand, and I will be presiding over the court today. This is the ENS Superior Court, and today we've got a wide variety of alleged, accused criminals. Now, of course, it's important to remember, thank you so much, Scott with Too Many T's, for the subscription. I appreciate that. I know Walla Walla Man also subscribed before the show began, and so I want to make it clear right now, if you subscribe at any point this evening, you can submit witness testimony. Now, we haven't brought our first defendant yet, so I'm going to wait before we bring out our defendant first before you want to submit testimony, because obviously you don't know what you're submitting testimony for until we've figured out what the crime is and who the defendant is. So once we bring out our first defendant, you can submit written testimony about the defendant, all guilty. Okay, that is not how our system works, Slap Factory. We have a system here. We're gonna figure out the facts of the case. You're gonna help me figure out the facts. We're gonna bring out the defendant soon. We're gonna figure out what happened, and then you will decide guilty, maybe, or not guilty. We're not sure yet. But like I said, if you subscribe tonight, you can submit written testimony about the case, about the defendant. Just let us know kind of what you're feeling. You can also call a witness to the witness stand tonight for $5. It works kind of like our celebrity guest director thing from the auditions format, if you've seen that. Basically, you just tell us who you want to bring. It could be anybody. It could be the defendant's grandma. It could be a celebrity. It could be a fictional character. Whoever you want to bring, to put on the stand, we'll get them in the court, or we'll try to get them in the court, and they will give an account of what they saw or didn't see at the scene of the crime. You can also submit visual evidence to our TV. Right now it's just showing the American flag, but we do have the ability to put graphics, visual evidence submitted by you in our Discord. So if you haven't joined the Discord already, please do join the Discord. You can submit evidence for these cases, visual evidence, in the submission section of our Discord, and we will pull it up on the TV if you trigger the sound alert, which down below there's a menu of sound alerts. If you trigger the sound alert for submit evidence or whatever it's called, we'll pull that up on the TV. Other than that, we're gonna have a great time. It's a lot of fun. We're doing good work here.
The law can be fun too.
This is all of our civic duty. So thank you for joining me tonight. The first thing that we need to do, though, is figure out what the first crime is. So obviously, we're in New York, which is its own jurisdiction. Our laws are different from a lot of those in the rest of the United States. And so there's a lot more crimes here than there are in the regular, like, types of crimes than there are in the normal United States. So jaywalking, yeah, that's still illegal here, but it could be pretty much anything. So start submitting suggestions for what the first crime is, and then we will bring out our first defendant. So we've got some suggestions here: jaywalking, fornication, too sexy, too horny. Interesting. Is there a legal term for being too attractive? All right, we've got sort of a thematic list of suggestions here. Farting in the elevator. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty good. That actually carries a pretty heavy sentence right now. I think we're going to start with that. We're going to take farting in the elevator. This first defendant stands accused of farting in the elevator. Some might call this chemical warfare. But it's up to you to decide whether or not the person we bring out here did the crime. They say whoever smelt it dealt it. Well, we're gonna find out now. Let's bring out our first defendant. Defendant, please take your space at the podium. Wow. Thank you, Internet Crow, for the raid of 5 viewers. Welcome, everybody. You're just in time. We brought out our first defendant here. His name is... What's your name, sir?
South Africa.
South Africa?
Yes.
I'm seeing here in the case file it's saying South Africa.
South Africa, yes.
All right, you're from... Is that where you're from?
Yes.
All right. Well, unfortunately, even if you don't know the crimes of our jurisdiction, you are still beholden to them, Mr. Africa.
Oh, no.
Now, Mr. Africa, you stand accused of farting in the elevator. Do you understand that?
I think I do, yes.
Okay. Did you do that?
It was involuntary. But I don't know, it could have been me, could have been the guy next to me. There's really no way of telling.
All right. So, okay, I just want to be clear. Intent is not a part of this crime. Whether or not you intended to fart in the elevator, it's still a crime. But it sounds like you're not sure if you're even the one who farted.
Well, listen, it's my body is sort of different than how it goes in my mind. See, down at home in South Africa, everything works a little bit to the left. So I was a little bit on the right in this country. And I think I've said enough, honestly. I
don't think you have. I'm really confused by what you mean by that. When you say you were a bit on the left, what does that mean to you?
Well, you see, in South Africa, the elevators are on the left a little bit compared to in the United States. So inside of the elevator, I was a little bit left.
All right, let's just have you walk me through the events that transpired leading up to the alleged fart in the elevator. Can you sort of walk me through your day, what led up to that?
Sure. Opened my eyes, morning time. Breakfast, had a little grab of Stucks, mixed in some Rigatux on top.
A little what?
Grab of Tucks. You have that here in America.
What is that? What are you saying?
It's a bag of raisins, and you sprinkle it with skin.
And what do you call it? Skin?
Yeah, it's a bag of trucks.
A bag of trucks?
Yeah. It's raisins and little figs and then skin. Anyway,
what is skin? What are you saying? Are you saying skin?
Yeah,
like
skin.
Flesh?
No, skin, like from my finger.
So flesh, so human flesh?
Right, but not the flesh, skin. See, in South Africa, we have a little bit of different hands. Our hands have more skin than flesh.
Okay, I don't think the breakfast is honestly relevant to the crime here. So let's skip ahead to when you arrived at the building that had the elevator. What building was it?
I went there for lunch. So for lunch, I ordered a satchel of giggets, which was excellent.
What are you saying?
It's just a sort of ball of raisins with skin in it.
But it's different than the first thing?
Yeah, well, you have it for lunch. It's like tea or breakfast in the UK.
And what is this building that you went to that served this?
Oh, it's home. It's headed home.
You were in your apartment building?
Yeah. So I was inside, and then I was headed upstairs. I live on the 6th floor. And then all of a sudden, a smell overcame me, right? And that's really the last thing I remember. And then I woke up here.
So, do you remember the elevator part at all?
I do. But again, everything was a little bit shifted for me. So I was seeing...
Right, to the left, you mentioned.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Okay. Well, and can we turn down the music in the court, please, a little bit? We did that? Great. Thank you.
No, we didn't.
Excellent. Thank you. All right. Well, let us know, co-counsel, in the chat if the music is sounding better now. Also, co-counsel, if you have any questions for Mr. South Africa.
Yes.
Am I pronouncing that right?
Yes, South Africa.
South.
It's not, let it roll off the tongue in one sort of word. South Africa.
South Africa.
Yeah.
Great. Well, do we have any questions from our my co-judges here in the chat? Any questions for Mr. South Africa? We have a request to turn on John Denver's Country Roads. We're not going to do that. Okay, here's an interesting question, and this is something that I was wondering too from co-counsel Internet Crow. Do you notice when you fart?
Back home, noticing things is a bit taboo. So
Noticing things is taboo?
Yes, we sort of move through life, and then here, sort of sit in it. So I would say the answer to your question is we're gonna have a good bang at it. That's for sure.
Okay, all right. So there's not like a feeling around like. What was that? Did you just? Are you farting right now, Mr. Africa?
No, man, I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounds. You're the only one on that side of the room. Oh. Now that looked like you were just doing that with your mouth.
It's stenchy in here.
Well, that's actually interesting because we had another council question here. Oh, well, we've got actually our first item of evidence here.
Shit.
So this evidence, I think, was submitted by your counsel to help with your defense. Let's have a look at that. Okay. And how is it that this helps your case?
Well, you see, in the building that I live in, right, it's very close to where they shoot lots of movies, right? And being in that vicinity, I guess, makes me a little bit gassy. If you were to put it into those phrases.
And we object to that. There's actually an objection to that. We don't think that's actually the real reason. Can you give us the real reason, please?
Right. I farted in the elevator, right? And this is the reason why I farted in the elevator, right?
Oh my God, he admitted.
No. You don't understand. Okay, I was watching this movie, right, on Disney Plus. Okay, watching it, and then inside of the elevator,
right?
Okay, posters,
right?
And that makes my mind think back to when I was gassy,
right?
Correct. And so I get into the elevator. It's not for me. It's my body, right, releasing from that.
Mr. Ifrika.
Yes.
I gotta say, I appreciate your candor, but you understand that this is a high crime in the Everything Now jurisdiction.
I totally understand. I just need you to understand my reasoning in sort of where I fall into the equation. As I was a puppet here, right?
What do you mean by that? Now, I do want to remind you, Mr. Ifrika, that if you are somehow able to establish that this fart was done in self-defense, that is an affirmative defense and would make you not guilty. If you can somehow establish that you farted in the elevator as a matter of self-defense because you felt threatened in some way, that may be able to get you out of a guilty verdict.
Did I mention the guys that were in the elevator that were telling me that they were going to beat me and hit me?
You did not mention that. You mostly spent a lot of time telling me about weird skin raisin food that you eat for breakfast and lunch.
Do you have any? I could go for a nub.
No, we're not doing that now. Sure. We need to talk about these guys. Who are these guys?
Right, so there's a bigger guy, right? He sort of had this leather jacket.
Bigger than you?
Yeah.
You're pretty big. Your head is being cropped out by our camera. You're so tall.
Well, he was about my size, right? He was wearing this leather jacket with fringe on the hands, sunglasses.
That's sounding a lot like you, Mr. Ifrika. It seems to me like you're describing yourself right now.
Well, I entered the elevator, and he was mimicking me above the railing. And I approached him, and he stepped to me at the same time, and actually spoke at the same time. I did feel threatened, right? So at that moment, with the fringes flying, I may have released something in self-defense.
All right. Mr. Ifrika.
Yes.
The way that you're describing these series of events, it sounds to me like you walked into an elevator.
Yes.
You saw yourself in a mirrored reflection on the wall of the elevator.
Right.
You became so startled by the sight of your own figure in the mirror that you farted.
Yes. Oh, well.
Now, no one else was in the elevator then. Is that correct?
No, he's a big guy, but my height, fringe on his jacket.
Right.
No shirt. And he was approaching me.
I'm going to stop you there for one moment, Mr. Ifrika, because we do have another bit of visual evidence here for you. Let's have a look at that.
Oh, no.
And can you explain this? Can you explain how this issue of Playgirl magazine featuring Ted Danson as America's Sexiest Comic is involved in this story?
So me and Tid
Right.
used to be roommates.
You guys were roommates?
Yes, back in South Africa.
In South Africa? Ted Danson lived in South Africa?
Lots
I had no
of the
idea.
things he shot was in Cape Town, actually, there. Yes. And so we lived together. One thing led to another. I was discovering my body at the time. He was in the living room. And I may have cupped his cheek, face cheek,
Okay.
and told him some things about my life, my dietary restrictions, my love life, complicated relationship with my parents.
And how does this tie into the elevator fart?
Well, he scared me, mate. I shit my pants.
You shit your pants?
Yes, so
And
it's
this was
different.
when you were back in South Africa?
Yes, many years ago.
Many years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
So this, you're sort of setting a precedent for, you're somebody who sometimes just farts without maybe dietary, not for dietary reasons, but for emotional reasons.
Yes, exactly. So when I feel things, it's sort of connected to my gastric line. And so Ted was the first one, right? Made me shit me dogs. And then ever since I've been here.
Wow. And it seems that some of our jurors are actually, maybe this story is resonating with them. This is an emotional story. I understand that.
Sure. So me and Ted, we were in our apartment for about six to 7 months. And then I cut cheek and then he left and started his career here in America. But ever since then, I've been involuntary with sort of how my system works. So you see how all of these pieces connect. I'm the victim here, really. Feel like I should be rewarded.
It's an interesting argument, Mr. Ifrika. I think we've heard all that we need to on this particular case, and so if we wouldn't mind, let's get the poll up for our jurors. Jurors, it's now up to you to decide the fate of Mr. Ifrika. If you feel that he is guilty of farting in the elevator, then please vote. 1, I think, is for guilty. We'll see. The poll pop up in a second. Although he does have some potential affirmative defenses, either self-defense, because he saw himself in a mirror and thought he was being attacked by himself and let out a fart in fear. Also, potentially, some sort of emotional defense in that it's involuntary because it's maybe like a handicap of sorts.
Trauma.
It might be trauma.
Yeah.
So please submit your votes now. It's not looking good, Mr. Ifrika. Oh, God. Did you just fart in my courtroom?
I don't know.
Mr. Africa.
I'm sorry, I got scared.
Did you just fart in my courtroom?
I thought of Ted.
All right, I've seen. You can leave it where it was. No, but it's fine. It can cover up the. Yeah, I guess that's fine right there. That's good.
This guy stinks.
Sorry.
I've seen just about enough. Let's close out that poll.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a good thing, though. I'm guilty, right?
Nope, I don't know how it works in South Africa, but here guilty is bad. It means you did the crime and you'll be punished.
All right, great.
All right, now all that's left is sentencing. Let's hear some recommendations from my counsel in the chat as to what the appropriate punishment is for farting in the elevator. Mr. Ifrika, I'm now going to consult with my counsel. If you have any last words before we sentence, then now would be the time to say it.
A bit glistening, isn't it?
You are glistening.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Permanent butt plug, a paddling, gas chamber. That seems a bit harsh. Although maybe a little eye for eye. You know, he gas chambered whoever was in that elevator in a
We need
way.
to set an example.
Sewing his butt shut. Okay, that seems sort of like an inversion of the permanent butt plug. Fart sommelier training. A lot of butt related stuff here. 30 days keto diet. That's interesting. Yeah, I think that seems appropriate. Mr. South Africa.
Yes.
You are hereby sentenced to 30 days keto diet. It is ordered by the court.
I won't go. I won't do it.
Oh, you'll do it. We'll have a parole officer making sure that happens. All right. Blind justice has done its job. Thank you so much, co-counsel. We've sentenced our first criminal to their punishment Thank you for your suggestions. Beheading, I didn't see that. If I had seen that, maybe I would have picked that. It was between cutting off his head and making him go on a keto diet. I think we chose wisely. Folks, that was our first defendant, but we've got many more. Let's make sure to figure out what the crime is on this next one. So please, if you wouldn't mind, council members in the chat, go ahead and let us know what this next criminal is being accused of. Again, it could be anything. It can be a real crime. It could be a made-up crime. Let us know what this next defendant stands accused of. Good old murder. That's an interesting way of phrasing it. Twerking, tearing off the tag of a mattress. Ooh, that's actually really bad. We're going to take that.
No. There's one.
There's another one. Running a squirrel fighting ring. Sodomy, okay? That's not illegal here. That's actually encouraged in our jurisdiction. Murder of Scromby. Oh, no, that's a callback. I don't know if everybody saw that. Sock puppet kidnapping. Trying on underwear in the store. I'm going to go with tearing off tag off a mattress. I actually really like that one. I've always wondered why that's so fucking such a big deal. And we're going to find out. So this next defendant, of course, stands accused of illegally ripping the tag off of a mattress. Let's go ahead and bring in the next defendant. Defendant, please approach the podium. Please don't clap for the defendant. They're an accused criminal.
You got it.
All right, it seems you've got some fans here, defendant, and please state your name for the record.
My name is Pick Me Squirrel.
Pick Me Squirrel. That's hyphenated? Pick Me?
No. Well, yes, actually.
We can fix it in the record if that's wrong.
People call me lots of different names. People have little nicknames for me.
Oh, okay. If you have other aliases, please let us know. That'll help the court.
Sometimes people just like to call me not like the other squirrels. I've heard, from many people that I'm different than the other squirrels. And, sometimes people just call me Sadie.
Okay, so what's your government name? Your legal name?
Pick-me.
Okay, so why do people call you Sadie?
I just feel like that's kind of private information. Do I have to share things where I'm at right now?
You're welcome to plead the fifth if you'd like. However, anything you say can and will be held against you in this court of law.
Okay, well, people call me Sadie. It's a long story. Because this one time I was at a concert, I was listening to Nirvana because I've been told that I just have a really good sense of music taste. And I was saying, pick me, squirrel. And the lead singer of Nirvana, who you may know is Kurt Cobain, said, okay, Sadie. And so it just stuck.
Wow, that is a fascinating story. I'd love to hear more, but we should probably get into the details of the crime. Of course, you stand accused of ripping off the tag of a mattress, a high crime here in our jurisdiction.
Wait, did I? Sorry,
that's what we're here to figure out.
Sorry, I just get I just get kind of ditzy sometimes. So sometimes I just don't know.
All right, well, we're going to figure it out. Let's go ahead and maybe walk through the day that you maybe or maybe didn't rip off the tag. Do you remember that day?
Well, what day was it?
Oh, you're good. I think the record says that it was, about a week ago. So do you remember? It's Saturday, a week prior. You're waking up in the morning, and what's going on?
So Saturday of last week, you said?
Yes.
Last week on Saturday.
Right. And I'm directly in front of you, by the way. Sorry, I know the eyeline is weird.
No, I just, I get really cold sometimes because I'm kind of fragile, and so I've been getting all of these goosebumps, and so I've been looking down at those.
Got it. Okay, understood. All right, yeah. So let's go ahead and walk through the facts of the case. You wake up. You're presumably on your mattress, right? The tag of the mattress is there. What happens?
Well, I sleep in a tree.
Okay, all right.
So,
is there a mattress in the tree?
Well, yeah. but I sleep in a tree, and maybe I was sleeping on the couch. You don't know that.
I don't know that. That's what we're kind of trying to figure it out. So you're saying, were you sleeping on the couch?
Yes, I was.
Okay, well, at some point between when you woke up on the couch and when you went to bed that evening, the tag on the mattress that's in your tree was removed. Now, if you're saying you didn't do it, I agree, it is crazy.
Oh my gosh, no, I didn't do it.
Okay, that's a good defense, but you're gonna have to explain how then it is that the tag on the mattress in your tree somehow was ripped off.
Well, I told you I slept on the couch in my tree.
That I understand, but
yes.
But then you woke up and then the tag went away. So what was to stop you from walking into your room where the bed was and ripping off the tag?
Well, because I'm not a monster who would do such a thing.
It seems like you, kind of. Unless you can think of somebody else who would have been in your tree at that time who would have some sort of motive to rip off the tag.
I don't even know what a tag is.
All right.
That's crazy.
Well, we've got a question here from one of our co-counsel here. They're wondering what kind of tree it is. And there's an objection actually to that. There's an objection to you not knowing what a tag is. We think that you do know what a tag is.
What?
You know.
With what evidence?
Everybody knows what a tag is. It's a little piece of paper that's on the mattress.
I don't know. Maybe I just sometimes I forget things. I don't know. I'm a squirrel.
You've clearly been trained by counsel, but we had a question here from one of our co-judges. What kind of tree is it that you live in, Miss Squirrel? And before you answer that question, I'd like you to answer to this bit of evidence that has been submitted. Now, can you explain this? Who is this guy?
Yes, that's my ex.
This is your ex?
Yes. He lives in my tree with me, which, to answer for all of the fans, is an oak tree. It's a really solid oak tree. Thank you.
Okay, so you and this man, and who is that guy? I know he's your ex, but who is he?
He's my ex. Sometimes I also call him Sadie because he also went to the Nirvana concerts with me. Let's see, what else can I tell you?
Does he have a name?
Him?
I mean, you call him Sadie?
I call him Sadie.
Does that get confusing because you're also called Sadie?
Yes, I am also called Sadie, but my government name is Pick Me, and he just likes to call me his little squirrel.
Now, living with your ex, this is a good point by co-counsel Freak Scene. Living with your ex sounds kind of messy.
Well, yeah.
Are you still living together?
Well, he has the key to my oak tree, but we don't live together. I'm better than that.
So where is he living now?
He lives, in a car.
Now, Res Racing, please be careful with these puns. They said, pardon the squirrel pun, but she's nuts.
Aw, thank you.
Now, please, do not make no submitting character evidence, please. We got to stick to the facts here, no opinions. Now, Miss Squirrel, I don't want to make a defense for you, but it would seem to me that if there were anybody who might have a motive to destroy property in your tree, and it's not you, could it potentially be a vindictive ex who has a key to your tree?
Oh my god, you're so smart. Oh my god, he could have. That's crazy.
Now, what would give him the motive to do something like that? What were the terms on which that your relationship ended?
I mean, it was mutual, first of all. And second of all, I think that it was pretty amicable. He let me take...
Okay, so it seems like maybe he doesn't actually have a motive. Seems like you guys are chill.
Well,
I was trying to give you an out, but it seems like this guy is not.
Well, wait. No, he actually was,
And someone did object to that. Someone objected to the amicable breakup, so maybe you want to reconsider that.
It was actually very messy. He took my nuts.
He took your nuts.
Yes.
Okay, and can you elaborate on that? What kind of nuts were they? Why would he take them?
He said, "Oh, I'm a bad guy who knows what tags are, and I'm gonna take these nuts out of this oak tree, and it's not even hibernation."
Well, Miss Squirrel, I hope that this doesn't emotionally affect you, but we do have your ex here, and we're bringing him to the witness stand.
What? Sadie?
Yep. So I understand that he's currently using the restroom, but he's going to be out. And if we need to look at him again, he looks like, wait, that's not him. Can we pull up the image of him again so we can see what he looks like?
Oh, yeah.
That was a different thing. That was a gun.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
Don't worry about the gun.
We're going to pull up an image of him, but he kind of looks like a Mad Max guy, sort of, right?
Yeah, he's ready.
All
Yeah,
right.
he always wears this
He
cute
looks like
little
this.
cross.
He's sort of like a big,
body
strong
armor.
guy, and like...
I've never seen his face, not once.
You've never seen his face?
Never. He always keeps it like that. It's mysterious.
Okay, well maybe we'll see his face. Maybe he'll be wearing a mask. We're gonna see. We're gonna get him out here really soon.
Starting to realize not nearly enough BDSM gear in the court dressing room.
That's true. We should maybe we
invest
should
in that.
invest in
as
that.
a court.
Anyway, here he comes. We're gonna get him. Oh yeah, come this way a little bit. There we go. Not too far. Stay. All right, I'm just gonna cut to the witness stand. Sit down on the witness stand. There we go. All right, let's see how this looks. That looks pretty fine. All right. Witness name, witness description. Can we get those, please? Anyway, you're the ex?
Yeah, it's me.
All right, and if you wouldn't mind, could you please state your name for the record?
Yeah, my name is Triel.
Triel?
Yeah.
All right, I heard that you go by Sadie.
I do go by Sadie, but that's only what my baby case calls me, huh?
All right,
Fuck.
It was. How do you spell that? Triel?
Triel. T-R-2-E's, baby. And then there's an L at the end.
Triel. Okay, great, Mr. Triel. Well, Mr. Triel, if you wouldn't mind, could you please let us know where you were on about a week ago on Saturday, at the time that the mattress tag was removed?
Oh, I think we all know where I was when that happened.
We don't. That's why we have to ask.
I think we all are familiar with that.
Okay, but for those of us who might not be, where were you? And you are under suspicion.
Yeah.
For those of us who might not be familiar with where you were, could you let us know?
So me and Baby Cakes was hanging at the crib, and then let's see, around 3 or 4, she went out to go get some macadamias. I love when she goes to get macadamias.
Right.
So I was just posted up in the tree, waiting on the mattress.
So you were in the tree on the mattress at that time.
I was.
And at that time, do you remember if there was a tag on the mattress at that time?
I specifically remember while I was in the room that I was looking at a spot where there was a tag or there wasn't a tag. And I remember thinking, that's weird. That's usually there. Or that's weird. That sometimes is ripped off.
Okay. I don't understand what you just said.
Yeah.
Can you?
So I was up in the room.
Right. On the mattress.
Yeah. And where there is usually a mattress tag.
Right.
Right? It was there.
It was there.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It was there. But then in the next second, I don't know if it was there or not.
So you're saying that you looked down, the tag was there.
Yeah.
And then moments later, the tag was no longer there.
Poof. It David blamed me.
And is it possible, Mr. Trill, that perhaps you ripped it off?
I doubt it.
Okay, you doubt it.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if I ripped it off, I would remember.
Okay, well, thank you, Mr. Trill. You can now leave the stand. And let's pull that microphone back over to where. There you go. We'll fix that. Don't come too close to me though, because then you'll be in my shot. We're still figuring out how this works geographically. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Right there. That's fine. All right, Miss Squirrel. I'm sorry. That might have been emotionally charged for you to have your ex in the room, but unfortunately, that's just the way we have to conduct things here.
I love you, baby.
Shut the fuck up, Sadie!
All right.
All right, and do we think those are his real horns? That's not a matter relevant to the case right now. So if you'd like to sue him for having horns, you're welcome to do that.
We paid to get them done.
Okay.
Together.
Are they
with
real?
Our nuts.
You paid with nuts to get those horns done?
Yes. The nuts that he took from me. An
Right, the
innocent
macadamia.
squirrel. Yes.
All right, well, Miss Squirrel, I think we've heard everything that we need to hear. Clearly, the jury is emotionally charged from your story and from his. And so I think it's now time to bring it to a poll. Jurors, you now have before you two potential stories. Either a squirrel who woke up on her couch, went into her room, and ripped the tag off of her own mattress, or perhaps a vindictive ex-lover who, for some reason, was crashing at his ex-girlfriend's house, who's a squirrel, and ripped off the tag from the mattress. So there's sort of two potential parties here who might be culpable. It's now up to you, jurors, to decide whether or not Miss Pick-Me Squirrel is guilty. So go ahead and vote now. 1, if you think Miss Pick-Me Squirrel is guilty of ripping off the tag, and a 2 if you think that she is not guilty.
I'm not guilty. I'm a victim of not being like the other squirrels.
And let's go ahead and close out that poll. Well, Miss Squirrel, I have some good news for you. We can get rid of the poll. I have some good news for you. We've decided that you are not guilty.
Yay! Oh my god, thank you so much.
Congratulations, Miss Pick-Me Squirrel. You are free to go.
Yay, thank you. Thank you to my fans.
Take care.
Instagram.
Follow Pick-Me Squirrel on Instagram. Well, you know, that's the other side of the coin, folks. Yes, that was just like the Amber Heard trial. That's the other side of the coin, folks. Sometimes justice works by putting the bad people away, and sometimes justice works by clearing the name of good old innocent folks who've just been accused of a crime they didn't commit. This next defendant is accused of another crime, and we're going to have to figure that out from you. I do want to remind everybody, if you're just joining us, this is the Everything Now Show Superior Court, where you are the judge and the jury, and also sometimes the witness, and also sometimes the attorney. You can, at any point, call a witness to the stand. We just had, in our last defendant, the ex-boyfriend of the defendant called to the stand for $5. You can call anybody to the stand, anybody related to the defendant, somebody completely unrelated to the defendant. It doesn't matter. We will bring them to this court to answer to you and to me, the finder of facts. You can also subscribe to the show. Oh, shit, I forgot. We had two people who subscribed.
Yeah.
Did they submit stuff?
We just got one from Scott.
Okay. Thank you, Scott. And sorry about that for the people.
Walla we need.
Okay, Walla Walla Man, I know you subscribed earlier. I'm so sorry about that. I completely forgot that you guys subbed. But yes, for this next defendant, we will use your testimony. So don't worry about that. Just so everybody knows, this is what it looks like. So your written testimony will go there, and your username will go there, unless you want it to be written testimony from somebody else, which it looks like Scott with too many T's wants their testimony to be from someone else. So we could probably make that work. Yeah. But yeah, Scott, thank you for submitting your testimony. We'll get that on the next defendant. And Walla Walla Man, if you're still here, submit your testimony. We'll have that ready for the next defendant as well. Speaking of the next defendant, it's time to figure out what the next crime is. So if you're in the chat, please let us know what this next defendant was accused of. The first two defendants, just so you know, the first one was accused of farting in the elevator, and the second defendant was accused of ripping the tag off the mattress. Now we've got some suggestions coming in for some new potential crimes. Selling crypto to babies, silly walk-in, deforestation. Wow, 3 very different crimes. Really cool skateboard trick, driving exactly the speed limit. Ooh,
they're good.
That's evil. Milking a duck, pretending to be Latino. Touching Disney mascots inappropriately, selling used socks, walking a pig on a Miami beach, not rewinding a rented VHS tape, being too scary at lunch. Whoa, that is interesting. I think we're going to take that.
Being too scary at lunch, yes.
Being too scary at lunch. For the crime of being too scary at lunch, defendant, please take your place at the podium and state your name.
Hey, I'm Stabby Kill Guy.
Okay. Stabby Kill Guy. That's your legal name?
Yeah.
And you stand accused of being too scary at lunch.
What's that about? I don't get it.
Well, that is a crime here in the Everything Now Show jurisdiction. Unfortunately, there's a certain amount of scary you're allowed to be at lunch, and if you exceed that, you cross into criminal territory. Now, before we begin, we do have some witness testimony. Are we ready for that?
No,
we're not ready for that yet, though, so we are going to begin, and then we'll do the witness testimony. I'd like to begin, Mr. Stabby, or how would you like to be referred to?
You can call me Stab.
Stab.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Stab, I'd like to start by getting a run through the facts. So I'm sure you're familiar with the lunch in question. If you could please just sort of walk me through what you were doing to get you to that lunch and what occurred during the lunch.
Got it, yeah. So this is interesting to me. So that day, I actually woke up, immediately killed all these victims I had in my basement. They were I had them trapped there.
Now, it's interesting that you refer to them as victims, because to me, that would seem to imply that you understand that's bad.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm, off the bat, I'm a murderer, I stab people, but I'm sorry, that's not what I'm here for
You are
today.
not on trial for the murder.
No, I'm not on trial.
I want to make that clear.
Thank you.
And I don't want our jurors to be confused. The defendant is not on trial for the series of murders committed in his basement. That's going to have to be another trial. This is specifically about when he was too scary at lunch.
Exactly. So
We
yeah.
got that witness testimony ready, by the way.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that first bit of witness testimony here. Now, O.J. Simpson said, "I didn't murder Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman." So that's interesting. Can you explain why O.J. Simpson might have something to say about this?
Sometimes people are guilty for certain crimes, and sometimes they're guilty for others, right?
Sure, I follow.
So perhaps I could be guilty of numerous murders, torturings, and, such of the like. And, being scary at lunch, on the other hand, is something I would never do. I keep my killing and murdering on, one side of my life,
right.
And on the other side...
And you that's something that you bond with Mr. Simpson over, the murders?
Yeah, I could, I mean, the guilty verdicts, not so much, but, yeah.
I don't think he was actually found guilty.
That's true, yeah. Maybe guilty in the public eye.
Right. The trial of the public, the court of public opinion, as one might say.
Right, so I don't care if everybody, the jury, if you guys think I'm a murderer or anything, I'm just not scary at lunch, ever.
Well, let's talk about this lunch. Let's go ahead and tell us what you were doing leading up to the lunch and then what ultimately happened at the lunch.
Yeah, so in the morning, woke up, killed all the victims in my basement.
Right.
Next thing I did was grab a coffee. And then I went and pulled some more victims out from various places.
Now, when you say you pulled victims out from various places, what do you mean by that?
So that's just kidnapping right off the bat. I have a van. I'll pull up to maybe a street corner. I'm not really picky. Just anybody who's standing there, grab them, throw them in the van, take them to my basement. Usually keep them there for like a couple weeks. So this day in particular was like an exciting day in my life because that's the day I kill people. I actually kill people. For a while, they're just kind of hanging out.
Now, it's interesting that you mentioned that because we do have a bit of evidence here that I'd like for you to explain. And before we show that, I'd like you to maybe address this comment from one of my co-judges. It's interesting that you're called Stabby Kill Guy when it seems that you've got a bat as your weapon there.
Yeah, so this is sort of a misdirection. People don't see it coming.
Ah, I see. You threaten them with the blunt object and they're not prepared to be stabbed.
That's sort of my, that's my go-to thing. That's my shtick.
Very tricky, Mr. Stabby. Now, we do have some visual evidence. Are we ready to show that?
Yes, indeed.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that. And now this appears to be flattened out Bugs Bunny with a green head. And can you explain what happened here?
Yeah, so, that's interesting. I do drive around.
And we can get rid of that comment.
I'm trying.
Okay.
I drive around in a van a lot. It's what I use to capture and kidnap victims, right? Sometimes I'll run over a bunny or a person or a dog or a cat along my journey. Again, this is all in my free available time that is not part of any sort of lunch date or appointment that I have. This is my personal time. I'm running over things, killing people, murdering them, not with a bat, but with a knife. And yeah, so that specific day.
So, just to be clear, you killed this guy with a knife? Because it seems like he's very. So you ran him over flat and then you proceeded to stab him to death.
Yeah, even though you're flat, your heart can still be beating. And this is something that you come to learn as a murderer. It's a lot more complicated than you might think, the act of killing. Sometimes you have to go in with different methods. I'm kind of like it's almost like being a doctor, but like the opposite way.
Well, I won't pretend to be an expert. To be totally straightforward and forthcoming with you, I've never actually murdered anybody. So I'll assume that you are the expert in that particular field.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Now, we're not here to talk about the murder. I want to make clear to everybody and reaffirm that this man is not on trial for what seems like dozens of murders. He is on trial for being too scary at lunch. So now let's flash forward a little bit and get to the lunch. We're at lunch. Where are we? What are we having? What's going on at the lunch?
So I'm at the lunch. Normally I take off my scary mask, right? Okay, are you starting to picture this? Take off the mask. No bat. It's just me. I meet up with my friend. They don't know about
just a guy who has some lunch.
I'm just a normal guy with some lunch.
And where are we eating?
We're at a Korean barbecue spot. It's off of Melrose. It's all you can eat.
Seems pretty filling for lunch. I'm more of a Korean barbecue for dinner kind of guy myself, because I eat all that meat and I'm like, ugh, I'm ready to go to bed. It's the middle of the day.
It's pretty scary to my wallet.
Thank you, Bailiff.
We're all getting along so well. This is great.
Yeah, you are very charming.
Like I said,
Actually, someone did object to that. I take it back. You are not that charming. You're kind of charming, but I maybe overstepped there. You're only a little bit charming.
I'll take it. I'll take a little bit. It's better than being accused of being scary at lunch when I leave that part of my life, the scary part of my life, really far away from my lunch meetings. When I'm having lunch, it's just me, some Korean barbecue, some bulgogi, extra rice, extra miso soup on the side. Boy, do I go through that miso soup. But, that day I met up with my friends.
And people are really into the miso soup. You're getting a lot of support for the miso soup. Now, Mr. Stabby, who is it that's with you who might have, if there was somebody at this Korean barbecue place who might have accused you of being too scary at the lunch, who else would it potentially have been to have submitted such an accusation?
Well, I have a few friends.
And before you answer that question, actually, you can go ahead and answer that, and then we'll pull up the evidence.
Yeah, so I have a few friends. We like to keep things a little bit anonymous during our lunches.
And why is that? And how do you do that?
So, like I said, most of the time I'm wearing this mask, right? And I'm a killer, and I'm killing people.
Right, and so to me, when you're wearing the mask, that's when you would be anonymous. And by taking off the mask, to me, and I'm just a judge, but it would seem to me that would make you less anonymous.
See, it's interesting you think that, Judge, because it's actually kind of the reverse situation for us killers. So we like to meet up in our secret identity is essentially our real identity.
Like, whoa!
So,
I don't know what that was. Hold on.
Okay,
I forgot I had a quick cut. Let's just go ahead and look at what that was. What is this? Are we allowed to show this? I don't think we're allowed to show that. I think that might be TOS. Can you explain that?
Yeah, so
What the fuck was that?
So, like I said, when I meet up with my friends at lunch, we're really exposing our true selves, which again, in a reversed way, is our secret identity. So sometimes we like to strip down and really just get into some K-bar, butt
You're
naked.
eating Korean barbecue buck-ass naked?
Yeah, so we're eating Korean barbecue.
What about
buck-ass
all the
naked.
hot oil coming off the meat?
I mean, come on, we're killers. We can handle that. We can
Fair
handle
enough.
a little oil on our skin.
Fair enough.
So yeah, we just, we ate some Korean barbecue, and we were naked, and we wrapped up. I went back to killing people. I went back to the streets in my van, picking up people, taking them to my basement, hang out. They hang out there for a while. Again, it's usually like a 2-week sort of rotation system where I'm bringing in a bunch of new people. It's getting crowded in there. They're like, it gets really gross. They're eating their own feces. They're like a lot of
doing
crime.
what?
In my basement, they tend to eat their own feces because I don't give them any food.
You don't bring them leftover Korean barbecue or anything like that?
I would, no.
That doesn't seem particularly courteous of you, Mr. Stabby Stabby.
Well, okay, I am a courteous guy. For example,
Thank you,
I don't know,
will
like
never
this.
escape.
I don't think everybody at my lunch are killers, so I don't think they would mind something like this. But like, there's a lot of limbs and stuff in my basement, so sometimes I'll just take a hand to Korean barbecue,
Whoa!
cut out some slices of meat.
What is
from
that?
This is a human hand.
Now, why did you bring that into my court, Mr. Stabby Stabby?
Well, I'm going to Korean barbecue after this.
You're gonna throw that on the grill?
Yeah, just when the waiters aren't looking, me and my killer friends are sitting around the table, and we'll just, kind of cut off a fingy, maybe a little piece of the arm here, maybe.
All right, Mr. Stabby Stabby, I've heard enough, frankly. I did notice that Mr. Or Mrs. or whomever, Data Dreamer has subscribed, and so Data Dreamer, if you'd like to submit some written testimony, you can say anything. If you witnessed the scene, if perhaps you were at the lunch, we've got it.
I'm going to put it up right now.
Okay, we're going to put that up in a second. Some written testimony from one of our witnesses, Data Dreamer. Also, if there's any questions from any of our counsel in the chat, if you've got questions for Mr. Stabby Stabby, now would be a good time to ask them, and then we'll go ahead and vote on whether or not they're guilty. But first, we're going to take a look. Are we ready to look at that witness testimony?
Yes, indeed.
Let's have a look. This guy tainted my bulgogi. Now, it seems that a certain Data Dreamer was at the Korean barbecue place. Stabby Stabby, do you have any answer to that?
I mean, I don't know if this person really goes to Korean barbecue that much, because that is not how it works. You're sharing a grill with the people at your table, which for me was me and my 3 killer friends, okay? All of us were in on the hand together, okay? We all chipped in for it. I brought it, but everybody chipped in. We were all consenting and wanted to have some of the hands. Now, for someone else to have tasted any of that hands, they would have had to walk over to my table after I already left and eaten some of my hand bulgogi. So, I don't know about you guys, but I think...
Now, is it possible, Mr. Stabby Stabby, that after you and your compatriots stripped down butt naked and sat at that table, that afterwards, some of the residual sort of bodily fluids that would be left over from a person sitting naked in front of a hot Korean barbecue grill for multiple minutes, then came and sat at that table after you had already left, and their meats were tainted by the residual body fluids left over by you and your naked counterparts?
The normal cooking temperature for a Korean barbecue grill is about 230 degrees, okay? There's a little lever on the top where you can push it all the way to 300, which, as a lot of you may know, is the killing temperature for any sort of bacteria, okay? We make sure to keep it all the way at that top level to make sure any of our body fluids that end up in the bulgogi pile get burnt up and are no longer a threat to anybody else.
Okay, Mr. Stabby Stabby. I did notice we had a couple questions from our counsel in the chat, but I missed them and they scrolled up, so now I can't see them anymore. If I didn't ask a question that you wanted me to ask to the defendant, go ahead and repeat it. Or if you have any new questions, go ahead and you can let me know. I will ask them to our defendant. Also, thank you so much, Wicked Lazy, for your subscription. If you'd like to submit written testimony about something that happened at the scene of the crime, go ahead and do that. We'll read it here in the courtroom. But here is a question from one of our council members. Why is it that you kill, Mr. Stabby Stabby? What is it that makes you want to kill?
It's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of pleasure for me. I have something deep in my brain. It's a sickness that, forces me with these impulses to murder and kill people. Which, looking back, I could see being a little bit, maybe not, not so great. But if I were going to say anything here today, it's that the worst thing you can do is be scary at lunch. That is the worst thing a person can do. It's something that I have never done in my life, especially at Korean barbecue places. So, I mean, come on, everybody. I think we can all agree that I didn't do this.
All right, well, we do have some more witness testimony here that you're going to need to answer to. Let's take a look at that. Now, Gersh said, I went to high school with this guy, and he never once looked scary at lunch. Wow, okay, that's in your favor, Mr. Stabby Stabby. Do you remember going to high school with Gersh?
Yeah, we went to high school together. School of the Freaks and Murderers.
You went to the School of Freaks and Murderers?
Yeah.
And where is that?
It's off the coast.
Well, someone is objecting to that, and I don't think it actually is off the coast.
Okay, fine.
Where is it actually, Mr. Stabby Stabby? And I won't ask again.
It's in the city.
Okay, I will accept that. Now, what else do you do with the hand before you eat it? Is it? I know that you sever it, but is there anything that you do to prepare it for eating?
Go back. Shit.
What?
No, 1 second.
Okay.
Okay, you're good. You're good.
What am I good to do?
Just whatever you're gonna do.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
Well, can you answer the question, Mr. Defendant? What is it that you do with the hand before you eat it?
Well, if you're eating at a sub-tier Korean barbecue restaurant, they're probably not going to have any soy sauce, salt, or pepper on the side of the table. But me and my boys, well, we go to the best joint in town. It's off of Melrose. Do you know how much goddamn soy sauce they put on your table? Too much! So we put a lot of it on the hands, season it, pepper it, and throw it on the grill. Eat it up. Make sure we didn't leave any marks or diseases or bacteria because of the temperature.
Judge, we got some more written testimony about this fella.
I see our bailiff is saying we've got some more written testimony, and we can clear off the question regarding the hand. We covered that.
All right, then.
Thank you, Mr.
I'll
Bailiff.
do that.
All right, and let's go ahead and take a look. We've got one final bit of written testimony, and then I think it'll be just about time to vote on this this alleged criminal. But from Walla Walla Man, Walla Walla Man says that they saw you licking Cool Ranch Dorito dust off a severed hand. Now, I don't remember you mentioning Cool Ranch Dorito dust in your list of seasonings, Mr. Stabby Stabby. Do you know why you may have left that out?
Well, as you guys can tell, I do care a lot about the Korean barbecue community, and I didn't want to mention the Cool Ranch, not because I'm ashamed or guilty of it. I just don't want to, make it seem like you can't enjoy Korean barbecue without a little bit of Cool Ranch on your hands. Do you understand? So it's not about me.
I don't really understand, to be completely honest.
Okay, so I don't want the Korean barbecue restaurants I go to get any flack that their food isn't good enough to just enjoy normally and that you have to put Cool Ranch Doritos on it. Do you understand? So it's like,
sure.
So, I was defending Korean barbecue restaurants when, I'll admit to this. I'm not ashamed of it. I just was trying to keep their name true and bold.
All right, Mr. Stabby Stabby, I think we're ready to vote now. We had one late comment that I think is worth sharing here from Councilmember Mac Plays, who brings up an interesting point. Wouldn't a severed hand at KBBQ probably be kind of scary? And that's something that we never really quite addressed, but I think it's a pretty strong point. The votes are already coming in, and apparently they aren't swaying. Well, it's getting closer. It's a pretty good point. But we're going to leave this open for just a few more seconds here. Let's go ahead and close out that poll now. And it seems somehow Mr. Stabby Stabby Kill
Boy.
Whoa.
We didn't bring that into it, do we?
Kill Guy. You are not guilty.
Awesome, I'm gonna go hop in my van and go kidnap and kill people now.
And I do want to make sure you know that is illegal. You are not currently on trial for that, but I cannot, in good conscience, condone your continued murdering. And I hope that you change your ways, Mr. Stabby Stabby.
It's all good. I'm just glad I wasn't in trial for any of that stuff.
All right, well, take care, you rascal. Get out of here.
Love you, Judge.
Oh, pretty charming, that guy, I gotta say. I got a soft spot for those people, and I do love Korean barbecue. Well, folks, that's 2 not guilties and 1 guilty so far, but we have put 1 criminal away. Thank you so much, Prison Fingers. That's a very scary username. But thank you for that follow. It now is time, speaking of prison, well, actually, this doesn't really have anything to do with prison, but we're going to go to a different part of the justice system, down to the police precinct, where 3 different criminals, or potential criminals, I should say, 3 suspects have been brought into the police precinct who have been accused of a potential crime. Now, we're not sure which one is the real perp, so we're going to line them up, and we're going to ask you guys some questions to help us identify who the real suspect is. So we'll go on down to the police precinct now, and when we're finished with that, I'll meet you back here for some more trials. We'll see you then after this.
Hey everybody, how you doing this afternoon or this evening? I have been outside today, so it's hard for me to kind of get a sense of what time it is. I'm Detective Aldo Fubar, here with the New York Police Department. I just want to say, thank you. I just want to say on behalf of the department, I'm so sorry that happened to you, that terrible crime where you had that thing, and it's like, we haven't been, listen, things, you got to shake it off. Okay, keep moving, all right? You can't let this crime define you, that thing that happened, What was that thing that happened to you, by the way? I can't get, if you remember, why don't you go ahead and tell me? But hey, here's the thing. We think we found the guy. We're not 100% sure though, so if you could maybe help me out a little bit, that would be great. So we got 3 possibilities, all right? 3 people who maybe could have done it. They fit the description. And I gotta be honest with you, your description that you gave kind of ran the gamut. Kind of a really wide berth that you gave us to look for. So we had a lot to work with. You're gonna see a lot of diversity up here. But we got a feeling that these people might have something to do with this crime, all right? So why don't we have the 3 people, 3 suspects, okay? 3 suspects. All right. Once you step a little bit there, a little bit further, there, they're perfect. All right, hey. Okay, all right. So, you all out there were witnesses to this crime. So what exactly did you see this person do? What did you hear them say? Because we can have these people do it and say it. Literally, the sky's the limit. You want these people to do, I mean, think of what you could have these people do right now. You know, you're like kind of gods, right? They're going to do whatever you want them to do. Think about that. What did you see them do? What did you hear them say? Maybe we can have them say. Okay, first of all, while we're trying to hear what's going on here, while we're trying to get your help in identifying this perp, why don't we hear some, just state your name for the record, starting with the guy in the milk.
David Derry.
We got David Derry here. On your left. Well, it was this other one here in the middle, huh? What's your name?
I'm a Vacation Viking.
Vacation Viking. All right, that's cute. That's fun. Sometimes we have a little fun here in this room, you know? Okay, what's that? Okay, right there, over there. What's going on? What's your name?
Sheep Basket.
Okay, so I'm getting word here from one of the witnesses, Abby Sally, that the person who committed the crime was singing a One Direction song. So, starting with the milk, we're gonna have you sing a couple bars of your favorite One Direction song, and we all know One Direction songs, don't we? Huh? So, starting with milk, go ahead and sing a couple. Give us a few bars of your favorite One Direction tune, okay?
Dum 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 Gouda, cheddar, sharp, blue, and goat. These are the cheeses that you swallow down your throat.
Okay, all right. Does that sound right to you? Let's hear the other two, and then you can tell me which one sounds the most correct. All right.
Dear motherland, from whence I came, the Nordic people.
Wow, I didn't realize we got an angel to come in here, huh? We think an angel might be guilty of this crime. Hey, hey, that was pretty good. The third person over there, you want to try it? Give it a little, yeah.
You are the most beautiful girl in the world. I love you.
All right, so did any of those three sound particularly like maybe the person you heard singing that song? Anybody out there? Go ahead and give a 1 for milk and a two for the middle one, huh? And a 3 for. Okay, we're actually getting another one here. The person who was there said they saw the perp, doing a bad version of the Macarena. They were bad at the Macarena, okay? So starting with milk again, go ahead and give us the Macarena. And try to do it well. Try to do the Macarena good, okay? Do.
Cheddar, cheese, cheddar, and goat. Blue cheese, mozzarella down your throat.
All right. I was thinking more like the dance, the Macarena.
Sorry.
Do you remember the dance, the Macarena?
1 pound of cheese, mozzarella, sharp cheddar too when you put it in your pasta.
Boy, forensic evidence would have been really great, don't you think? Like if we gotten like a fingerprint or something. Anyway, what middle person, huh? Why don't you try that? Do the Macarena good.
I do not have Macarena in my country, but I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, take a shot in the dark.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Macarena. That was closer.
She said Macarena, which is kind of like one of the very important parts of the Macarena is the word Macarena. So we're getting closer. Third person, what you got, huh? What do you got?
1 Maca, 2 Maca, 3 Macarena.
All right, now I don't want to, give you any ideas. I don't want to like impose my view upon you, but I mean didn't that look pretty I mean, that's not, that sounded pretty guilty if you ask me. All right. So yeah, I'm seeing a lot of threes in the chat. I'm seeing a lot of people saying that it might be number 3. What was your name again over there? Fievel?
Last name Baskin.
Last name Baskin. All right. Last name Baskin. All right. So somebody's saying, let's see, what else we got here? Anybody? Oh, they had a very hairy butt. I'm seeing there's one from Mac Plays.
Sheep basket.
You don't have to show us, but could each of you sort of describe roughly the volume of hair on your, like, surrounding your anus area? No, don't go all at once, okay? Don't say it all at once, all right? So just let's change it up a little bit. Let's start with the person on their right. Let's start with you, Baskin.
Yes, amount of butt hair, let me think, usually 0.
0 hairs. You don't have to shave for that?
Usually 0.
Sounds pretty conspicuous. Sounds pretty unlikely, pretty conspicuous. Somebody lost their head. Okay. Middle person, huh? What do you think, huh?
Yeah. Lot of hair, y'all.
We're really mining some very deep territory here, some really potent witness testimony here. Okay, what's the milk? What do you got?
1 Maca, 2 Maca, 3 Macarena.
There it is.
4 Maca, 5 Maca, 6 Macarena. 4 Maca, 2 Maca, 3 Macarena. Hey!
Macarena!
Bit of a delayed fuse on that last question, but I think that does speak to perhaps his culpability. No, I don't want to press you too hard here, but what about the ass hair thing?
Aged to perfection. This is the cheese you need. All around my knees. None by the bun. I have a lot of hair on my knees.
Okay, I think that just about figured, that kind of, we got a pretty good sense of all 3 of these cats and kittens here. So, what are we looking at? Who's guilty here? You were all there at the scene of the crime. One of these guys must be triggering your fight or flight, your PTSD. One of these people, you're looking at him and you break into a cold sweat. You're thinking, oh my God, I'm right back there when I got physically assaulted by one of these people, right? Because that was the crime, by the way. I just remembered the crime. You got your ass beat by one of these 3 people. They ran up on you outside of a fucking Gelson's and they just rammed your ass like a fucking battering ram. They just beat your ass to a fucking bloody pulp. And here you are. I'm sorry to kind of bring it right back to you. But it's looking like it might have been number 3. It looked like it might have been the last name. What was it, Baskin?
Sheep basket.
Oh, sheep basket. Egg on my face. I got your name wrong. But it's also looking like you might be guilty. So now we got official witness testimony. We're going to put this guy we're going to bury this guy below the fucking jail. You know what I mean?
No.
Nobody beats somebody up outside of Gelson's unless they're fucking like a transient, like a fucking somebody who's unhoused. Then it's like, it's all above board, out here. Anyway, look, it's been a long day. You can take a donut on the way out, but drive home safe. Next time you're outside of Gelson's, maybe think about packing some fucking heat. Maybe think about keeping that fucking thing on you, all right? All right, hey, that was Detective Fubar. Thanks so much for coming. Crime, man. This is great. This is crazy.
All rise! Court is back in session. Welcome back. As I understand it, we had a very successful criminal lineup where you identified the perp. So good work with that. Justice has been served. But now we're back in court. If you're just joining us, my name is the Honorable Learned Hand, and I am presiding over this court with the help of you, our viewers at home, who will help decide whether or not these prospective, alleged, accused criminals are truly guilty of the crimes for which they are accused, or if they are an unfortunate, wrongly accused victim of a different crime. That's going to be up for you to decide. Of course, you can help figure out what the truth really is in a variety of different ways by submitting evidence. You can submit visual evidence through our Discord. If you haven't already, go ahead and join the Everything Now Show Discord. You can submit visual evidence, and we'll show it right up here on this TV. You can also call a witness to the stand. If you donate $5 earlier this evening, we had a squirrel girl who had something of an altercation, a falling out with an ex-boyfriend, and we called the ex-boyfriend to the witness stand and got to hear his side of the story. It was very illuminating for the case. So if at any point while we have a defendant at the podium later this evening and you'd like to call a witness, any witness, go ahead and donate $5 and let us know who you'd like to call. We'll bring them to the stand. Of course, if you subscribe this evening, you can also submit your own written testimony. There's a menu of stuff you can see down in the corner over there. If you subscribe, you can submit witness testimony. We'll also read that out loud as well as your username, and that information will be added to the record, and our defendant will have to answer to that. You can also object to anything that's said in the court using the sound alerts down below, so go ahead and check those out. And without further ado, I'd like to figure out what our next crime is that we'll be hearing. So, those of you in the chat, please let us know what crime it is this next defendant is accused of. If you are just joining us, the first three crimes that we heard this earlier in the evening, the first one was farting in an elevator. The second one was ripping the tag off of a mattress. And the third one, of course, was being too scary at lunch. I believe the only person who we convicted so far was the elevator farter. They were sentenced to a 30-day keto diet, if I remember correctly. So we've got some suggestions here for crimes. Eating Play-Doh, holding the door open too long, wrong place, wrong time, clown fraud. I guess that's like pretending to be a clown when you're not. Losing a game at Fortnite, assassinating the queen, taking a big stinky. Didn't call his mom for the holidays, picking their nose, replacing marshmallow paste with white glue, messing with the thermostat. Yes, the classic crime of messing with the what does that say? Bagamgling on laser tag? What? Gambling? Did you just have a stroke, K-Weeb? What does that say? Unlicensed sleeping. Impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, that one's pretty good. Let's take that one. We're gonna take that one. We're gonna take impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Identity theft. Impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. This next defendant was accused of impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Let's go ahead and bring them out. Defendant, please approach the podium. And let's see if this works. Pretty good. Pretty good. That works pretty fucking good. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to show. Get that out of here. All right, defendant, state your name for the record.
My name's Ricky Fowler.
Ricky Fowler, like the golfer?
No relation.
And please ignore my arm.
No problem.
Okay. And Mr. Fowler, you stand accused of impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Do you understand the crimes that you are accused of?
Oh, boo! Zoinks!
No, don't do it now.
No!
Don't you do it now. Don't you dare continue to commit the crime in my court. I will have you held in contempt of court, Mr. Fowler, I am not afraid to do that.
The contempt of court, contempt of this, contempt of Zoinks. Let's split up.
Mr. Fowler! Did a cigarette just fall out of your mouth, Mr. Fowler? You cannot smoke in here, Mr. Fowler.
I'm not smoking, it's smoking me.
I will hold you in contempt of court, Mr. Fowler. I will have the bailiff on your ass, Mr. Fowler.
Oh, I'm so...
Are you vomiting in my court, Mr. Fowler?
No.
Are you drunk? Mr. Fowler, are you drunk?
Okay, so the cat's out of the bag. On a little bit, just drink in the morning. Oh, fuck.
This is absolutely unacceptable, Mr. Fowler. When you come to my court, when you come to Mr. Learned, the Honorable Learned Hands Court, you come prepared. Or you don't come at all, Mr. Fowler.
You know what I gotta say to that, Judge?
What's that? Whoops, that's the witness.
That's what I have to say to you, Judge.
Order! Order! This is absolutely unacceptable, Mr. Fowler. We have to get to the facts of the case. All right, Mr. Fowler? We're going to get to the facts of the case. Now, when is it that you started doing this impression of Shaggy?
Oh, when? He's asking... You hear that? He's asking when I started! Well, I can say that it's from the movie.
I'm going to cut you off right there, Mr. Fowler, because it seems that we've got a bit of evidence here that we need you to explain. Are we ready to show that evidence, bailiff?
Yes, indeed.
Let's have a look. Now, what is happening here? That looks like a gun that's used to put mustard on a hot dog. Now, why would that be submitted as evidence?
Let me tell you something, Judge. You know what that is?
To me, it seems to be a gun used to put mustard on a hot dog.
No! It's a gun that you put mustard in to go on the hot dog.
That's what I just said, Mr. Fowler.
Oh! Big Judge! Well, I got a gun. Ah, fuck.
That's a fire hazard, Mr. Fowler. You can't, if you're gonna smoke a cigarette, at least please keep it in your mouth.
Well, mouthy, schmouthy. I got a gun that you put for... Look at me.
I'm looking at you, Mr. Fowler.
Look at me.
Fuck, I gotta stop clicking that button.
Have a gun that you put mustard in to put on a hot dog. Your Honor.
Right, I understand that. What does that have to do with being Shaggy?
Shaggy likes snacks, does he not? Hey,
That's
Ma!
a good point. That's true. Shaggy would love to eat a hot dog, and he probably would use a fun, gun condiment dispenser because he loves food. He's something of a foodie, as I understand it.
He loves food, and he doesn't want to shoot the food. He just wants to put mustard on it, so it's a fun little gag.
All right. Frankly, I'm having a hard time talking to this defendant. So, counsel in the chat, do you have any questions for Mr. Ricky Fowler? Maybe about his decision to impersonate Shaggy? What if this is Shaggy? That's interesting. That hadn't occurred to me. Are you Shaggy?
Zoinks.
Okay, that doesn't really answer the question. You could still just be impersonating him. Here's an interesting question. Mr. Fowler, can you also do an impression of Velma from Scooby-Doo?
Yeah, sure, I could do all the gang. Where's my notebooks? Ah, fuck. Where's my notebook?
That's Velma?
Yeah,
I thought she said Jinkies.
Oh, yeah. Zoinks!
No, that's Shaggy. You're doing Shaggy still.
Oh, is that something? Oh, give me my notebooks!
All right, we've got some other questions for you, Mr. Fowler. Thank you very much. What are your political views?
Up, down, any direction you like, I speak the language. Left, right, I'm on both sides. Fuck.
Sort of apolitical, or a centrist, maybe. It seems like maybe you're describing a centrist. What is your current occupation, Mr. Fowler? Do you have a job, or are you just doing full-time Shaggy impressions?
I'm a sock, man. I go on people's feet. I spend my day in the shoe. I don't see any light. I have nothing but a foot in some rubber. So you can imagine why I get a little free time. I like to do some impressions.
Well, speaking of shoes, it seems you spend a lot of time in them. How do you feel about Vans, the shoe Vans? I guess I'm assuming that's what council member Dinsdale Piranha is asking about. Vans? Do you have a take on Vans?
Oh, we talking about Vans the shoe?
I assume so. Maybe the car. I'm actually not sure.
Well, which one? Because I'm a fan of one and not a fan of the other.
Well, why don't you tell us both?
I like to drive, hate the Vans.
Oh, mystery Vans. Duh. That makes more sense. I guess actually they're both kind of relevant because he's a sock, so he lives in Vans, potentially the shoe, but also he's impersonating a character from Scooby-Doo, which drives around in a van.
Yeah, so I'm a big fan of Vans.
Which one?
The car and the shoe.
Like the one the mystery gang drives around
the mystery Buick.
Is it a Buick?
It's it's either a Buick or some sort of Sprinter. Are we done?
We're very close to being done with you, Mr. Fowler. I do have a couple more questions here from our council. Okay, council member Abby Sally, I want to make clear that this is not
Santa
Shaggy. And thank you,
year.
Warm Winter. Councilmember Warm Winter, if you'd like to submit your written testimony, if you were perhaps at the scene of the crime when Mr. Fowler allegedly impersonated Shaggy. But I want to make clear to you, Abby Sally, that this is not Shaggy. I know it's a very good impression.
Zoinks!
But Mr. Fowler is on trial for impersonating Shaggy. So he doesn't actually have a relationship with Scrappy-Doo. If we believe enough, he is Shaggy. That's an interesting point. Is it Shaggy's sock? Oh, that's an interesting question from Councilmember Mac Plays. Hey, Ricky, are you the sock of Shaggy? Is that why you're so good at impersonating him?
Now we have traction in the court. Yes, I am Shaggy's sock.
Wow. And do you have any interesting anecdotes about your experience as Shaggy's sock? Maybe something that can color the jury's perception of you? And before you answer that question, I do want to make sure that you answered to this particular piece of visual evidence.
1 second, Judge.
All right. While our bailiff is having that prepared, we do have a question here from Councilmember McTwist, who is asking, is a man not entitled to the sweat of his mustache? And boy, do I wish I understood what that meant. But it is an interesting point nonetheless. All right. How are we looking on that evidence?
We're good to go, Judge.
All right, let's go ahead and take a look at that evidence. Now, who is that and what is that?
Oh, no.
Can you explain this?
I didn't want it to come to this, Judge. You know, you're breaking into my privacy, guys, and that's Danny, and he was taking a picture of me. I am honestly... Danny.
That's Danny?
That's Dan Aykroyd, I believe.
I think you're right.
Yeah,
he sells tequila?
I guess he does, and,
Isn't that... Who's the guy... Who does the Skull tequila? It's not Dan Aykroyd, is it?
I don't believe it was Dan.
Looks like it might be.
I mean, I know he's got it, but like, I thought it was... It's him? That is him.
Any indication?
It is him. Okay. I thought it was Clooney. I know Clooney does tequila too, but maybe his isn't Skull.
Man for Truth says it is, Your Honor.
Okay. Anyway, go ahead. What's your relation to Dan Aykroyd?
So Danny and I were old buddies back when we both did Ghostbusters. I'm honestly embarrassed now that I'm drunk because I promised him that I wouldn't touch the bottle again. And now clearly he's been involved in this, and I need some answers.
All right. Well, unfortunately, I don't have answers for you. Only more questions. And I do have one bit of witness testimony here from, I think, Warm Winter, who submitted this bit of written testimony. And after we look at this, Mr. Fowler, I think it's going to be time to vote. But Warm Winter would like to say, hey, Ricky, hey, buddy, love you, man. Say that thing you say. Love you, man. So thank you for that. Thank you, Warm Winter, for that cutting testimony. And Mr. Fowler, if you would like to say whatever it is that Warm Winter would like you to say, go ahead and do that now.
Thank you for the opportunity, Judge. Ew! There's an eel! Somebody! the nest!
Ah, yes, Ricky Fowler's classic catchphrase. Eel. Oh, there's an eel. There's an eel attacking the nest. Well, I think we've got all the information we need here to make an informed decision on this particular defendant. So let's go ahead, and thank you for that follow. Let's go ahead and get that poll up so that you, our viewers at home, can decide the fate of defendant Ricky Fowler. Ricky, while we prepare this poll to decide your fate, is there any sort of last words or final testaments that you would like to share as that poll is being prepared?
I guess, does anybody have like one of those $2 bills? Because I got 2 ones, and I have a sister who collects. If there's anybody who has one.
All right, does anyone have any $2 bills? Anything related to your crime, Mr. Fowler, that you'd like to share? It's not looking good for you right now.
Oh, it's not looking good?
Well, it's
How
actually...
about this? Zoinks!
Okay.
Zoinks!
Clearly, we have a criminal who has no remorse for his actions. Let's close out that poll.
Cold-blooded.
Let's close out that poll. Good. Good. Well done, counsel. You made the right call. We can close the poll completely.
Nothing behind the eyes, Judge. I'm looking at him now. Cold-blooded.
Mr. Fowler, you come in here and turn my court into a circus. But it seems that justice will have the last laugh today. We, the court, find you guilty of impersonating Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
If anybody has those $2, the bill, I'll be still waiting outside when this is done, and we can exchange information.
The only thing left to do before we let you go, and I don't mean let you go free, I mean let you leave the court, Mr. Fowler, is figure out what the sentence will be. So, counsel in the chat, please let us know what the punishment should be for impersonating Shaggy. Go ahead and suggest some punishments, and I will choose one that I feel is appropriate. Let's see. Mandatory clown college. When Ricky was in Jesus' land, let my people go. Banned for truth, I'll have you banned for contempt. Summary execution. Okay, it seems, alright, banned for truth has quickly changed sides. Now he wants this guy killed. Use him to cover a golf club for 15 years. Oh, that's interesting. Condemned to be Fred from Scooby-Doo. 1-year community service at Disneyland. His pair gets lost in the dryer. Oh, wow, that's pretty tragic.
No.
I think wash him without detergent. Ooh,
no.
Interesting.
Judge, I'm sorry. Look, it doesn't have to be that way.
I think we're gonna do 2 of these things.
No.
I think you're gonna be sentenced to be used as a golf club cover.
No, Judge.
For 15 years, and before that, you're gonna be washed without detergent. It is so decreed.
Eels! There's an eel attacking the nest!
Your catchphrase can't save you now, Mr. Fowler. Oh, well, folks, it never makes me happy to have to sentence someone to a punishment for a crime. But the silver lining, of course, is that the wheels of justice are operating as they're intended, and bad people are hopefully going to be thinking twice before they decide to commit such a heinous crime as to impersonate Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Unfortunately, we don't have time to dwell on that last defendant because justice never sleeps and neither can we. So let's figure out what the next crime is that the next defendant is accused of. Go ahead and start suggesting some potential crimes that we can hear from this next defendant. Go ahead right now in the chat and let us know what the next crime is that we are going to be hearing. Of course, just to remind everybody, if you'd like to call a witness at any point during one of these trials for $5, you can call anybody. It could be, we could have called Shaggy. That could have been interesting. I don't know. That might have been funny. He probably would have had something to say. Could have brought Fred, Scooby. We could have had someone put on like dog ears and been Scooby. I'm just saying. I'm not here to tell you guys how to do your job. But all I'm saying is, $5, we could have a lot of fun here. Of course, you can also submit written testimony. Some people have done that. If you subscribe at any point tonight. All right, we've got some interesting ones. Internet Crow continues to suggest clown fraud, which is a good one. Eating watermelon in a drought. Stolen valor. Killing Santa Claus. Ooh, that's pretty good. Double dipping. That's pretty good. Not finishing any game they play. Selling bootleg Fortnite skins. Interesting. I think pirating and selling a copy of Cats on Ventura Boulevard. Mario Kart without a permit. Counterfeiting new seasons of Frasier. New seasons of Frasier.
I like stolen valor, Judge.
Stolen valor? That's a real crime.
Stolen valor.
Stolen valor? All right.
It's personal for me.
Well, we kind of just did somebody stealing identity, though. I think clapping at the end of a movie, I like that.
Wow.
You don't like that, Mr. Bailiff?
But if that's a crime, then I'm guilty as charged, baby.
Spearfishing in the petting zoo, downloading a car.
I see that fucking guy.
That's good. I like downloading a car.
I see that fucking Godzilla movie of Bryan Cranston, and when he fucking shoots that laser into that beast's mouth, I clap like a child, like a 60-year-old at a birthday party.
We've got okay.
Sorry for mouthing off, Judge.
Order!
I love cinema, Judge.
Order! Let's have some decorum in this court. All right, we got a lot of great ones. I feel bad picking any one of them because they're all so good, but I really like
a late.
saying let's rock and roll before leaving a restaurant. Yeah, that's good. I like that too. Oh fuck, these are all good. I'm really struggling between that and downloading a car. Man, they're both so good. I think we're gonna go with saying let's rock and roll before leaving a restaurant. That's very funny. But I do. Shout out to downloading a car. That was a close runner-up. All right, let's bring out the defendant. Please approach the. You could combo them. Oh, that's interesting. I think it might get confusing trying to argue both of those points. Maybe the next one will be that. But this one is going to be saying let's rock and roll before leaving the restaurant. And defendant, are you prepared? Okay, I can hear you breathing very loudly. Are you all right?
Animal! Good.
And your animal from the Muppets?
Yeah!
All right. Wow, you brought fans with you, animal. This is the trouble with trying and watch your hand. Careful, your hand is teleporting into my shot. Animal, this is a problem with bringing celebrities for crimes, that, it's sometimes they bring fans in the court. Will you please tell your fans to be quiet during the proceedings?
Animal! Fans! Quiet! Shh! Hush, hush. Thank you! Thank you!
Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Now, Animal, of course, you stand accused of saying let's rock and roll before leaving a restaurant. Obviously, that's a high crime in our jurisdiction, and the penalties are high. Do you understand that?
Yes!
Animal, do you need like some water or something? Are you okay?
Animal!
Your muscles are falling off. Your muscles, and watch that hand. Be careful. Keep that hand out of my shot.
Animal hand! Do what animal hand wants!
Okay, well, not in my court, Animal. No, get that out of here. Get that out of here. No. Stop breaking the space-time continuum, Animal. This is very serious. Now, Animal, I just want you to run me through the facts of what happened. You went to dinner, you had your dinner, and then where were you? What did you have? And then what happened as you were leaving?
Animal at Hard Rock Cafe!
At the Hard Rock Cafe?
Yeah. Yeah. Animal order.
I know, it's emotional. When crimes of this magnitude happen, and I want everybody at home to realize that sometimes it can be very emotional for these defendants to have to recount their crimes. But Animal, I'm going to need you to steel yourself and tell me the story.
Thank you, Judge. Animal order shrimp. Animal love shrimp. Shrimp.
Okay, you had shrimp. Now, was that like a shrimp cocktail or a shrimp scampi? And I do want to remind you to please lower your volume, Animal. This is a court, and you're standing very close to the microphone.
Animal, sorry.
That's okay. I know it's very emotional for you.
Animal, feel bad.
That's all right. Now, what kind of shrimp did you have, Animal?
Popcorn. Shrimp. Shrimp.
Okay, all right. Calm down, Animal. Popcorn shrimp. I got it. All right. And I just want to remind anybody that Animal's a Muppet. Might be fun to bring another Muppet on the stand. I don't know. Just saying. Just throwing out some ideas for potential witnesses to call. Anyway, maybe a waiter from the restaurant. I don't know. Listen, Animal, you had your shrimp, right?
Yes.
The bill comes.
Yes.
Then there we fucking go. Thank you. One handsome boy would like to bring Kermit the Frog.
It's gonna get keto.
Oh yeah, how are we gonna do that? Because he's green.
Animal. Love Kermit.
A green witness is gonna be tricky. But we'll see what we can do. Maybe he'll just be like wearing a bunch of clothes.
Animal went beach with Kermit.
Whoa,
Kermit.
Animal, what?
Whoa!
Kermit sunburned.
Oh, sunburned Kermit. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You guys were partying somewhere where it was sunny?
Yeah. Sunny.
Okay.
Animal, you gonna need to calm down. Don't make me tase you.
Oh yeah, careful.
If you want to do it.
I don't want the bailiff to have to tase anybody, Animal.
Animal person, my bitch. No tase, please.
All right, well, people are requesting the green screen suit, but I think we've got something maybe better. So we'll see how this goes. I don't know. We'll see what this looks like.
Judge.
I don't know. We've got maybe. All right, let's just have him take a seat. Take a seat in the witness stand. Do we have his information ready, bailiff?
Oh shit.
Come on, bailiff.
I got itchy trigger finger, bailiff. I got my
You're the bailiff.
on the fucking taser.
All right.
Judge. I'm so confused.
We're getting Kermit ready on the stand. As we mentioned, Kermit got really sunburnt, I guess, while they were partying in like Cabo. Where were you guys?
Cabo.
You were in Cabo. Careful with your hand there. No, stay back. All right, how are we looking, bailiff?
Yeah, we're looking good.
All right, let's talk to our witness, sunburned Kermit the Frog.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, this is. Come over here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to help in this case. You know, whatever you guys need.
Hi, Kermit. Hi.
Hey, Animal. How you doing?
All right, Kermit the Frog. As I understand it, you were at the. Nope, I forgot to do that. No, that was my bad. I shouldn't put you there. I'm not gonna come back to me.
Animal.
Let's see. That's good. Stay right there. Oh yeah.
Don't
Hey,
let me
first
put
time.
you down, Animal.
First time doing the
Stay away
format,
from the
folks. Now, Kermit the Frog. As I understand it, you were out to dinner with Animal when this alleged saying rock and roll at the end of the dinner took place. Is that correct?
Yes, we were at the Hard Rock Cafe.
Right. And how do you remember? And this is really interesting, Kermit the Frog. You don't sound anything like him. What does he sound like? Does anybody know? He sounds
Sometimes
like
I
no
sound
one?
like this. I sound like Piggy or Piggy.
He sounds like Stitch. That's what he sounds like. Yes, Walla Walla Man. He sounds a lot. And Meatwad. He sounds like Stitch or Meatwad. All right, well, we've got...
Maybe he forgot what Kermit sounds like. I can do a Kermit for him.
You, Bailiff, you've got a Kermit?
I got a Kermit. You ready?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Hi, it's me, Kermit.
That's horrible. That was terrible. We've got some... Bailiff, are we ready to show this visual evidence?
Kids love that Kermit.
Do we have...
I don't know.
Do we have the evidence ready to show?
Oh, shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, no, we're ready. We're good.
All right. All right.
Oh, no.
Now, Kermit, do you know what this is? Do you know who this is?
That's yeah. So that's a fish.
Right.
And he looks like
Right.
looks like there's a human hand putting glasses on it.
I can see the image, Kermit. I'm asking you who this was.
Yeah, so that's most likely somebody who was at the Hard Rock Cafe, possibly a waitress. And it seems to me like they're looking over with a grin, possibly after somebody said something that was a little bit titillating when you're at the Hard Rock Cafe. You know what I mean? They're reacting to something that someone said.
Interesting. All right, well, Mr. Kermit, I appreciate you coming in. I can see you're very badly sunburned, so I'm going to let you go, I guess maybe like apply some ointment to those burns, and I hope that you feel better.
I hope I get back to my green color and my normal voice.
Sorry, I'm having a sidebar with the bailiff right now. All right, let's... Thank you. Oh, wait. Before you move that, you can put it back because we need to bring another witness. The Swedish chef. We're going to bring the Swedish chef to the stand. Thank you, Warm Winter. Obviously, the Swedish chef was probably working at the Hard Rock Cafe. He's a chef, so my guess is that the Swedish chef was cooking in the kitchen, and perhaps the Swedish chef heard whether or not Animal said those fateful words, let's rock and roll at the end of the meal. So we're gonna get the Swedish chef, but while that's getting ready, I guess you.
Hello, I'm here for
Kermit?
Testimony.
Wait, I thought we just had Kermit.
What? No.
Who are you?
Me, I'm Kermit the Frog.
No, we just had Kermit. He was that sunburn guy.
What? He doesn't look anything like me.
I agree. He doesn't look anything like you. He looked like a guy wearing a red morph suit.
He didn't sound like me either, frankly.
He didn't. He sounded like Stitch and Meatwad had a kid.
2 comments. And I'm confused.
This case is gonna get thrown out if we're not careful.
It's not easy being sunburned either, I guess, but.
All right, look.
We
need to get Frank Oz in here too. So let's get somebody getting ready. Let's get Frank Oz ready. In the meantime, we've got Swedish Chef, so let's cut to Swedish Chef. And Bailiff, get the information for Swedish Chef in there.
Hey, it's been a crazy day. It's been a pretty crazy day.
Order! I will not have this kind of crazy bullshit happening in my court, all right? This is a court of law, damn it! Now,
sorry, Judge.
We are gonna go talk to the Swedish chef.
Yeah, you're ready to talk.
Animal, go hide again, please, so you're not accidentally in the shot. Now, Mr. Swedish Chef, were you there at the scene of the crime?
It's me, Swedish Chef.
Come on! Can anybody do a fucking impression?
I was at the restaurant and I saw the meeting there.
You saw the meeting there?
I did.
Why do you sound like Mickey Mouse?
I don't know. I'm the Swedish Chef.
All right, Swedish Chef, listen. All I need to know is what exactly you saw and what exactly you heard at the Hard Rock Cafe on that night.
Well, I remember sitting with Minnie and...
No, you're not Mickey Mouse. You're the Swedish Chef.
No, I was being the Swedish Chef with Goofy and Minnie.
No.
And I remember seeing Animal sit down and order some food.
Right. What did he order? Do you remember? Can you corroborate his story?
No pressure, but we've lost 10 followers since this bit started.
Animal, get out of the shot. the order. We said it earlier. Were you listening?
They were eating! I remember what it looked like, but I can't think of the noun.
Can you describe what it looked like?
It sort of had a brown edge, and in the middle was different colors.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know if it was like. I'll give you a hint. It's from the ocean.
Oh! Beef!
Oh, all right, Senior Chef. It was shrimp.
Oh, shrimp! Yes! I remember seeing tails of the shrimp over there.
Okay. Thank you for. We need to get a lot more follows. We're losing them.
Bump those numbers up.
They're more. All right, Mr. Chef. I think we're good on you. Thank you. You clearly weren't there. Who was this other witness? Who was the other witness?
We got Frank Oz.
Oh, it's Frank Oz. All right, let's get Frank Oz in there and let's get that information updated.
Oh, god damn it, fuck.
All right, I'm just gonna go to it.
I'm feeling crazy.
We're gonna update it live.
No. Fuck.
Mr. Oz.
Reggie?
No, come on.
I'm sorry. I'm just kidding.
Okay, good. All right.
Yeah,
it's been a long night, Mr. Oz.
Yeah. So, I'm the guy who sort of operates a lot of these puppets that are also sentient beings when they're not being puppeted.
Sure.
So yeah, that's on account of these hands being all dirty and stuff. Is
yeah,
because,
your hands are like freak monster hands.
Yeah, I stuck them up. Yeah, I stuck them up the butts of a lot of puppets over the years.
That's why they're all gross like that.
Yeah.
Got it. All right. Well, Mr. Oz, look, I'm not here to judge you for your sick, gross hands. I'm here to figure out what the facts are. And so if you can, thank you, Bailiff. Thank you, Bailiff. So, Mr. Oz, if you could please recount the events from the night. Thank you, Bailiff. If you can please recount the events from the night of the alleged crime, what you remember, what you saw, what you heard.
Yeah, so like I said, sometimes the puppets are sentient. It's how I design them. Sometimes they can be operated by me. That night in particular, I was at the helm of Mr. Animal over here. So I was actually controlling Animal with this hand, having them speak and say things as if it were them.
Sure.
So at the dinner, it's the Hard Rock Cafe, of course.
Of course.
It's a very rock and roll oriented restaurant. I can explain more if you need. They have.
I pretty much got it.
Well, I don't know if everybody understands that they have.
Okay, go ahead.
It's a very rock and roll oriented place.
Hard Rock Cafe, sure.
Yeah.
Hey, one of the jurors just whispered to me saying that you also do the voice of Yoda. Could you do that voice for us, please?
Yeah. Could you do Yoda?
Give us some Yoda.
Yeah, of course. No.
That's giving Yoda, all right.
That sounds just like Yoda.
It's giving Yoda.
It's giving Yoda.
SpongeBob.
That's like when Yoda met SpongeBob.
Oh man, remember when Yoda met SpongeBob? Remember that?
That was a classic time.
And Squidward didn't want nothing to do with that.
Okay, so...
Nope. Hard pass.
All right, Mr. Bailiff. Do you want to take the stand? Because you're talking a lot. All right, Mr. Oz.
No, it's okay. I'm good.
You're good? Okay, cool. Thanks. Mr. Oz,
yeah.
If I understand correctly, you are the ones who control the voices of these puppets. So, am I wrong to say that if Animal was the one who said, if Animal stands accused of saying, let's rock and roll at the end of the dinner, maybe it was actually you saying that?
Interesting point, Your Honor. You know, like I said, sometimes they're sentient, sometimes I'm controlling them, and unfortunately, you know, who knows? I don't remember. I don't recall. It could have been me. Let's rock and roll, rock and roll.
Hey, careful with that. Careful with that in this court.
And and it could have been at the free will of Animal. I don't feel obliged to discuss, you know, what it was.
All right, I don't think we're going to get anything else out of Mr. Oz. Mr. Oz, you're free to go. Let's get Animal back at the stand. Animal, please take your place at the podium. You can adjust the microphone so that it's pointing at you again. That's pretty good. Okay. All right, Mr. Animal. We have one more bit of evidence here. Bailiff, can you please pull that up? Or is it ready to go? Do we know?
Oh, now you want to talk to bailiff. Huh?
Well, I just want the bailiff to do his job. I just want the bailiff to do his job.
I would love for you to do your job, Judge.
I'm trying so hard to do my job. I'm really trying.
Hey, Judge, if we're going to be talking to each other candidly.
We're not.
You sure? Are you sure? Because we're doing it right now, aren't we, Judge?
Is the evidence ready?
Hey, Judge, let me in. Hey, balls in bailiff's court now, huh?
No, it is not.
Yeah, you're waiting for bailiff. Listen, Judge. Sounds like you're kind of putting off a lot of the job, the actual job that you got onto the people in the county. You ever think about that?
My job is to decide, is to ask the questions.
You're not making any decisions.
I'm supposed to ask the questions and find the truth.
You're asking questions that the chat gives you.
Yeah, well, they're helping me. It's a collaborative process. Justice can't be served by one man alone. It takes a team. We each have to do our responsibility, and actually, there's an objection to that. Actually, it seems that somebody.
You don't even object to shit.
Okay.
That's their job.
Actually, it does seem to be one person's job, and that person's job is yours right now, which is to pull up the evidence. Is it ready to go?
The evidence is ready.
All right. Now, Animal.
Yes.
Are you smoking?
Yes.
Okay.
Animal stress.
All right, Animal. We have some evidence here for you to explain. If you wouldn't mind. This. God damn it. Can you explain this image of Big Titty Dumbledore?
Animal like.
Almost. We gotta vote. We gotta decide. We gotta decide if Animal's guilty. Pull up the poll.
Animal smoking waitress is Big Titty Dumbledore.
What?
Waitress.
The waitress at... Oh, I see what you're saying. The waitress at the Hard Rock Cafe was Big Titty Dumbledore?
Yes.
Oh, that's how it all ties in together.
Oh, Gandalf! Oh, embarrassing. Animal embarrassed.
No, it's Big Titty Dumbledore. You had it right.
Oh,
you're good.
Not guilty.
All right, we're going to get a poll up, and then we're going to decide whether or not you are guilty, Animal. Hey! Bailiff, I will hold you in contempt of this court. I will have you ejected.
I guess the judge doesn't even run the poll.
No, I don't. I have to do all this other stuff.
Run the poll.
All right, get your votes in.
Almost like you don't do jack shit.
I do a lot.
Other than where your face fucking with Hey, that's not even your real hair, is it? You stupid piece.
Of course it's not my real hair. Do you think I would wear it? My hair would look like this fucking shit? Close the poll. Close the poll. Guilty!
No!
Guilty!
Animal sad!
Animal! You're going away for a long fucking time! That's our show! Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Can you hear us tonight?
Did we put the microphones on this scene? I see that I accidentally left the overlay on.
That's fine.
I don't know if they can hear us, but if they... Yes, we're
Yeah, mic is on, baby.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us tonight, folks. We are the Everything Now Show. We do the show 3 times a week. Now, we just added this Saturday show, so thank you for joining us. We just brought the Saturday show back, and it was so nice to have you all back here. But if you are unfamiliar, if you're joining us here for the first time tonight, we also do shows every Monday and Thursday at 8 p.m. Pacific. So if you like this, come on back Monday night. We'll do a brand new show. It'll be a totally different scenario. It won't be a court. It'll be something else, but it'll still be interactive comedy where you can join in the fun. You can join our Discord and submit images. All the evidence pictures that you saw tonight were submitted by you, the viewers at home, in our Discord, so thank you so much for doing that.
There's a hypothetical scenario in which someone is watching this show right this second who's not following it. And that hurts.
That hurts our feelings. So please follow our show.
I see you out there. You're watching the show right now. There's a button right below.
If you're lurking, just hit the button. You'll get a notification when we go live. You won't have to miss a show. And if you really want to be a fan, go ahead and join our Discord as well. You'll get updates on the show. We post news about the show in there. And like I said, you can submit things. Okay, thank you, Wicked Lazy. Appreciate that.
Yeah. You're saying boo to the unfollowed.
Yes. Boo to people who unfollow the show.
Didn't actually happen. I did that for a bit.
Okay, that was part of a bit. That made me really nervous. Without further ado, we can't make this show on our own. We have these wonderful guests who we bring on every week. Let's bring out tonight's guests.
Hey!
Come on out, guests. It's Jake, Justin, and Maddie. And J Crew Raps are these two, and I don't think Maddie's part of J Crew Raps, but they're all here. Folks, thank you so much for doing our show. We really appreciate it. We hope you had a great time. Let the people know what you're doing. Is there anything you'd like to plug?
I do stand-up shows. You can follow my Instagram to get the stand-up info. Thank you so much.
Follow Maddie. You can follow. Oh yes, if you type !guests in the chat, you can find all their social media stuff right now. So you can follow Maddie at her plug right there. It's in the chat. Follow her right now so you can find out more about her stand-up stuff. J Crew Raps, do you want to share about your thing?
We make music, and you can find a lot of content and cool stuff. You can find a lot of that at our Instagram, or you can find us on Spotify, Apple Music, J Crew, J space CRU.
J Crew. It's not called J Crew Raps. That's just the Instagram handle. It's called J Crew, but you can find it on Instagram at J Crew Raps. The plug information is right there. Thank you guys for doing the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
for having us.
Thank you so much.
Can I make a request on behalf of the person who does the Instagram? Can you guys stand right underneath the logo and just like pose like you're gonna pose for a picture? Like a little bit, even closer. Let's step a little bit like right closer to the. There you go.
Beautiful. Get that good light.
Amazing.
Excellent.
Perfect. Thank you all.
Thank you for doing that. Hey. Thank you, the viewers at home, for watching the show. Like we said, we do this 3 times a week, so if you had fun tonight, come back Monday or Thursday or both, or come back a week from now on Saturday, same time, same place. We'll be streaming brand new episodes all those different times. And like I said, join the Discord, follow us. We have our own social media as well, so you can follow the Everything Now Show on Instagram. You'll be able to see clips highlighting some of the funniest moments from tonight on our Instagram. So if you want to see those,
it's a great way to share the show with people who would maybe be like, "Whoa, a Twitch stream? What's that? What? Do I have to pay for that?
It's free.
Do I have to sign up?
Unless you want to
give my social security number for that?
You don't have to give us your social security number, but yes. And also, if you had a fun clip from tonight, or if there was a moment that you really enjoyed, clip it, post it in our Discord. Maybe we'll use it for our Instagram post tomorrow.
It makes my job easier. Huh?
Makes Grant's job easier. Anyway, thank you guys so much for joining us. We are going to go ahead and raid somebody now, and we'll see you guys back here on Monday.
So, and by the way, we all just want, no, you guys don't have to leave.
So you can if you want.
We just want to clarify, we're all very good at Muppet impressions, right?
Yes.
And that we did that for a bit.
That was a joke.
Yeah. That was a joke.
Jokey.
So if you want us for, like SNL or something, like if you want to put any of these people on SNL, just know that in their back pocket, there's like at least a half dozen great killer Muppet impressions.
I actually do all of them, so more than my goals.
Hey, run through them right now. Let's go.
Come to my stand-up show.
No, do Kermit. Do Kermit.
Hello, Kermit the Frog here.
That is. Whoa! Alright, we're gonna.
And I can be Stitch for your party. Hey! Anybody remember Lilo and Stitch? Come on, guys.
Yeah! Alright, we're gonna send you to our good friend Uncle Joe. Say hello to him for us, and we'll see you guys back here Monday night at 8 p.m. Pacific. Goodbye!
Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching. What a show.
And we're out.
What a show.
What a show.